House of Senate confirms 45 ministerial nominees. Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps arrested 2 suspected cattle rustlers in the state. Niger junta appoints new Prime Minister. Today is Tuesday, 21st of Muharram 1445, after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 8th of August 2023 after the Jonathan Enliman reading of Sulfur. The West African Examinations Council (WAEC) has withheld the results of 262,803 candidates who wrote the 2023 School Candidate West African Senior School Certificate Examination. The Council's head of National Office, Patrick Harrigan, said this at a news conference to announce the release of the results. He said that the results were withheld in connection with various reported cases of examination malpractice. According to him, the figure represents 16.29% of the total number of candidates that sat for the examination. He said that this was 6.54% lower than the 22.83% recorded in the same diet for school candidates in 2020. Cases were being investigated, and report of the investigations will be presented to the appropriate committee of the council for consideration and penalty. State government need to pay council registration fees of their candidates will not be able to access the result of such candidates until they pay off. The leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria (TUC) are set to meet with President Bola Tinubu's team today. The NLC President Joe Ajaero disclosed this yesterday to newsmen. Mr. Ajaero said the protest was suspended after the intervention of the National Assembly and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, adding that between that time and now, 1 or 2 issues have played out. He said the Senate promised to get back to us and resolve the matter within 1 week. Sawaba Radio report last Wednesday, the NLC and TUC led Nigerian workers in protest across the country over the increasing cost of living due to government policies, especially the removal of subsidies on petrol. The Senate has confirmed 45 ministerial nominees out of the 48 nominees forwarded to it by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The confirmation followed the consideration and approval of the nominees during yesterday's plenary. The nominees include Senator Abubakar Kyari from Borno State, Abubakar Momo from Edo State, Nyesom Wike River State, Professor Joseph Usef of Benue State, Senator John Eno of Cross River. Others are Dr. Olubunmi Tunji Ojo of Ondo State, Dr. Betta Edu from Cross River State, Iman Suleiman from Nasarawa State, Ahmad Dengiwa from Katsina State, and Uche Naji, Enugu State. The nominees include Bello Muhammad from Sokoto State, former Jigawa State Governor Muhammad Badaru, Yusuf Tukar of Bauchi State, and Uju Ken Ohaneye from Anambra State, among others. In his remarks, President of the state, Godswill Akpabio, thanked lawmakers for their persistence throughout the exercise. He said nominees out of the 48 sent by the President. Sawaba Radio report that former Governor of Kaduna, Nasir El-Rufai, appointed Aladi Taraba, and Executive Director, Business Development of Nigeria Export and Import Bank, Nexim Stella Okotete, are awaiting security clearance to be confirmed. The Abdulsamad Rabiu Africa Initiative (ASL Africa) yesterday in Abuja donated 25 operational vehicles to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency to boost its operations across Nigeria. The donation was from the ASL Africa Security Sector Support Fund, a security intervention initiative targeted at providing critical support to the NDLEA to boost its operational reach and capacity. Managing Director ASL Africa Obon Udo, who presented documents and keys of the vehicles to the NDLEA's chairman Muhammad Buba Marwa, said Abdulsamad Rabiu, founder and chairman of Core Group, had created the initiative to uplift and restore the dignity and lives of Africans. He said the vehicles will assist the NDLEA to fulfill its mandate in the war against drug-related crimes. Responding, NDLEA chairman Marwa commended Abdulsamad Rabiu Africa initiative for its support of the NDLEA. He assured that the vehicles will be used for the intended purposes. Moro handed over the vehicles to the heads of operational commands of the agency. The charity Save the Children says attacks against farmers in Nigeria by armed groups are threatening to push it into a devastating hunger crisis. Researchers say armed groups killed more than 120 farmers and kidnapped more than 30 others across Nigeria in the first 6 months of this year. The United Nations estimates more than 25 million Nigerians will face food insecurity this year due to protracted conflict and rising prices. You are listening to the news from the studio of Sawaba. Stay tuned for this. Welcome back. Executive Secretary Tertiary Education, TEDFund, Sony Econo says TEDFund has increased its ICT support intervention to 100 million naira for universities and 50 million naira for polytechnics and colleges of education. He said this was prior to 2022 when the intervention was 15 million naira for universities and 7.5 million for polytechnics and colleges of education. He spoke in Abuja yesterday at the flag-off of a 3-day workshop on the implementation of the Enhanced Blackboard Learning Management System and Trained Trainer Program. He said the increase to ICT support intervention marked the largest single increase to any of TEDFund's intervention lines, underscoring the priority it was given to ICT as an enabler for teaching, learning, and research environment. He said over 2 million students and staff of higher institutions in the country will soon have access to online academic resources through the deployment of Blackboard Learning Platform. Econo said the workshop, which attracted directors of ICT from the 253 beneficiary institutions on the fund, was to bridge the digital skills gap in the universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has arrested 2 suspected cattle rustlers in Jigawa State. The spokesman of the Jigawa State Command of the Corps, CSC Adam Shehu, confirmed the arrest to newsmen. He said the suspect Abdullahi Buba of Garindole, Tas Gadao Local Government Bauchi State, and Alhaji Jubril of Busari Deputy Local Government Yobe State were arrested on Saturday in Chawa Local Government area of Jigawa State. He explained that the suspects were caught by the owner, who kept vigilant during the night in anticipation of catching the thief who had earlier stolen cows in the neighborhood. 4 cows were stolen from him and 2 from his neighbor, Alhaji all valued at over 2 million naira. He said the suspect confessed to stealing cows and transporting them to Kano State. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps spokesperson said the suspect will be charged in court for criminal conspiracy, trespass, intent to steal, and theft after investigations. The second highest unit state diplomat said yesterday she had met with Niger's military leaders but made no immediate headway in reversing a coup. Victoria Noland, the acting deputy secretary of state, said she met for more than 2 hours with Niger's senior military leaders in the capital Niamey. She said the conversations were extremely frank and at times quite difficult. Victoria Noland said she met with Brigadier General Musa Salu Bormu, who has been named the new military chief of staff, and other leaders. She said the junta did not respond to her request to meet Niger's self-proclaimed new leader, General Abdurrahman Tiani, or the detained elected President Mohamed Bazoum, although U.S. officials have been in touch with Bazoum by telephone. The junta in Niger Republic has named Ali Mohamed Lamin Zain, who currently serves as the African Development Bank's AFDP country manager for Chad, as Prime Minister. The spokesman for the military junta, led by General Abdurrahman Chiani, made the announcement on television yesterday. Ali Mohamed Lamin Zain, 58 years old, served as finance minister under Mahmoud Tanja, who led the country from 1999 to 2010 after its return to civilian rule. Zain, who previously served as AFDB country manager in Ivory Coast and Gabon, is expected to lead consultations for the formation of a new government, recalling that on July 26, 2023, the military toppled the democratically elected government of President Mohamed Bazoum and suspended constitution order. The regional body is to hold another emergency summit on Thursday in Nigeria to address the political crisis in Niger after the military leaders ignored its ultimatum to cede their power. Delegations from Mali's and Burkina Faso's military government have assured Niger's military coup leaders of their full support in solidarity visit to General Abdurrahman Chiani in Yamai, Nigerian capital. It comes as the regional bloc ECOWAS is set to have a summit on Thursday to discuss the next move against Niger's junta. An ECOWAS deadline to reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum by Sunday was ignored by Niger's military leaders. He is still being held captive. Mali's military government spokesperson Abdullahi Mega on Monday described the ECOWAS sanctions on Niger as illegal, illegitimate, and inhuman. He said Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have been dealing with the negative socio-economic, security, political, and humanitarian consequences for over a decade. The Mali envoy also encouraged Nigerians to be resilient and patient through these difficult times and assured them of victory and their unwavering support. Mali and Burkina Faso military leaders last week warned against an ECOWAS military intervention in Niger, saying it meant a declaration of war. That has been the end of the news. But before I go, recap of the major stories. Niger junta appoints new prime minister. On behalf of the Department of News, our editor Haruna Ahmad Ultua, I am Khadija Saying thanks for listening.